As the Super Eagles of Nigeria return to action this weekend by Saturday, 5 p.m. Nigerian time against Benin Republic, there are important conversations to have from Bruno Labadia's controversy to the appointment of some domestic coaches from the Nigeria Premier Football League and to the match itself against Benin Republic. Important conversations they are. Well, that's the crux of the talk today on the show. My name is Ayomide. I bid you welcome to the Nutmeg here on GuardianTV. All right, on today's episode, I've got a guest that's making his debut on the show. We have here Eniola Daniels, an in-house researcher here at Guardian Nigeria, to talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And great to have you on the show, Eniola.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and first of all, the whole of last week was all about Bruno Labadia, a coach you will never have, as it seems. You know, the controversy about him being not being able to coach the Super Eagles because of tax issues. Whether we know those tax issues are from Germany or from Nigeria was not too clear. In fact, the statement that announced him was not clear as well. And the timing that it came was not the best as well. But what have you made of the entire controversy, saying that he left us in a limbo for a while?
You know, Nigeria is a very funny country. And I don't think anybody should be surprised about anything that happened in the country. So you should not be surprised. You should expect anything. You should expect anything. And if I won't be shocked if they come up and say Eguavoen is no longer the interim coach.
I don't think that will happen at this point because we have just days.
So it didn't come to me as a surprise at all.
All right, but we have to move away from Bruno Labadia. We know he's not going to be in charge. The conversation about whether or not they could get a contract in place for him fell through, and it's sad. But there have been other appointments. As early as Monday in the morning, we heard of 2 MPFL coaches, which on a good day, it looks good on paper. You know, you have Daniel Ogumodede, you have Fidelis Lechuku, defending champions coach, that's Rangers International of the MPFL. On paper, you see these two and you want to think, oh, these are good additions. But the timing of it is questionable.
Yeah, I really agree with you that one, you don't, they say a journey of 1,000 miles takes one step, you take it, but this step is coming rather too late.
Yeah,
rather too late.
Absolutely.
Like 5 days to a match, and you're appointing a coach and you're appointing assistant coach, and so what time do they really have to really play this match? Don't forget, we'll be playing against a former Super Eagles coach.
Yeah, and that makes it more interesting because we're also going to face them again after they are defeated us in the last game of Finidi George as coach. And now it's quite interesting. One thing that comes to me or gets to me is how do these 3 heads now, very good coaches on their day, how do they combine now within just 5 days? Looking at also the caliber of players we have in the national team, how do they combine to get the result against a General side that's well drilled? They have a better understanding of themselves at this point. Okay,
give it to him. Austin Eguavoen is a good coach, let me say. He once coached the national team in 2005. You remember?
Yes.
He came back 2021. And you know what happened in 2022 when we lost gallantly.
And it was so dramatic. Of course, the reaction was expected.
Yeah, it was expected. But mind you, these guys are friends. Eguavoen is coming with coaches, with assistant coaches who are his friend, and I don't think we should doubt that they're going to do something, but I don't really believe so much. The next game, the outcome, we may win, we may draw, but I don't see anything that we should not be excited yet. We should not be excited yet. And they say,
I don't think many Nigerians are excited.
No.
I think we are critical.
To Nigerians now, what I want to say to them is that blessed are those who are not hopeful, because they will not be left sad. Don't be hopeful for now. But I think we should. One thing we always do as Nigerians is that we are always positive.
Yeah.
No matter what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone into many challenges like this and we're not prepared and we got results. But, you know, there's context to this one. General is a coach that spent many years as head coach of Nigeria. He knows the national team. He knows what we're going to do. And that reflected in the last game. And that was the last game for Finidi George as well. And now there's a point to prove for this team. That makes it all the more difficult. It's like a mountain to climb.
I agree that General will want to show Nigerians that okay, what you did to me, I still have you in my pocket.
Well, he has shown us the first part.
Again, you can do that again. I still have, because he understood and still understand what made up the national team of Nigeria.
Yeah.
He understand the technicality. He understand our problem. And he understand where and when to punish us. So it's where I hope we are not at his mercy.
Okay, but let's try to be positive a bit.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
We need to win that game. It's African Cup of Nations qualifiers for 2025. Now, the World Cup qualifiers, where we stand there now, is really shaky. And so we need a very good start in this one. So the first question I'd like to ask you on this issue is, look, let's take some positives now from this. How can we beat this side? What should these three heads, what can they do to get the better of Benin Republic?
One, we should be more solid behind. And forward, I believe Nigerians are doing fantastic well when it comes to playing football. But this is not the time for us to call for more local players. If they were appointed like maybe 3 months ago, you could say that let's use our local players, because the former, let me call him a former Rangers coach now. He has men that he can actually deploy.
You mean Electrical?
Yes.
No, the appointment is on a temporary basis.
Yes,
so they still return to being coaches.
Yes.
But the real thing is, look, like you're saying now, they can't introduce local players. And that if we're to go by your lens, that is a concern for the faithful when it comes to local football. Because I'm sure you're going to have fans who are going to be crooning for local players to make it into the squad. But the squad has been announced anyway, so I'm not expecting that. We know the squad already. So it's all about how to utilize that squad. Taiwo Awoniyi is already in camp. We already know some of the players are already around. The real question is, with the plethora of talent we have, especially up front, as you are singling out now, it's all about how to get the better of. Structurally, tactically, how these three coaches can get the better of Genotro is the real concern now, just within days that they have to train and get to know the boys in camp.
Yes, one is that these are Nigerians, and the coaches have been watching them for a very long time, which I believe that they will also come together to really utilize them. They know what is wrong. They know where we are good, at the point we are good. They also understand.
Yeah, I think I buy your idea, because Eguavoen has been in and out of that squad, most of those players. And even, as you say, of course, Daniel Gumodede, Lechuku, these are people that will have been following the national team for a while. So we're expecting them to combine and, do something solid. Yeah,
we are expecting magic. Let me say.
But you told us to not be open for anything. Now you're saying we're expecting magic.
Yes. No. Like when I said don't be hopeful, I mean don't put your mind to the extent that you bet your house on the Super Eagles. But that does not mean that we should not expect that they will do something. But don't bet your house.
So you're saying we shouldn't overrate our chances?
We should not overrate our chances.
But we need to win.
We need to win. We need to win. But I'm telling Nigerians that even though we lose, I'm not praying so. Even though we're not going to win, assuming let me say, even though we're not going to win the next match, that does not mean we cannot still win. That does not mean we cannot come top. That does not mean that the team is solid. But Eguavoen coming in, I hope he gets retained. I hope.
You think so?
Yes, I hope he gets retained.
I'm not sure many Nigerians will be fans of that.
Yes, he has the technical know-how. Even though he failed gallantly against.
I was going to come to that, because that failure is still ringing fresh in the minds of Nigerians.
But that does not mean that he has not learned his lesson.
How can we be sure?
He must have gone.
The common Nigerian watching this show will tell you, how can we be sure?
Yes, we always say that let's go back to the drawing board. He must have gone back to the drawing board. So
are we trying to say that a crucial game like this one against Benin Republic is the litmus test to know if he's learned his lessons or not. We're talking about the national team qualifying for a major tournament.
Do you have a solution?
I'm not a coach. But the NFF, I was going to come back to them anyway. They've made this quite tough.
Okay, yeah.
In terms of coming up with a solution, it's not easy now when, you have to make decisions within days. The fiasco with Bruno Labadia was in itself incredible. And how we've arrived here is bad enough. Whoever is making these decisions, because let's take a bit of a flashback. This was not the prime target. It was Jan Olaf Andersen. It was Avi Renard.
Yes.
These were people mentioned in the frame of replacing Finidi George on a permanent basis. Granted, we can't afford the monies that these guys will command. But still, it just seems to me like forever, the NFF don't have a plan.
Do you think we cannot afford? I think that is not the question. When the question is not a question of the debate should not be a debate of affordability. It's a willingness to make things work.
But in terms of affordability, still, the argument some of us will have, some of my colleagues in the industry will have, they'll tell you, look, there are more important issues to attend to in the country at the moment.
Okay.
Let's give some context. Jose Peseiro, the last coach, who was like from a foreign country. At some point, he was earning $70,000, and then there was a pay cut, and he earned $50,000. For what level of result? That's the question. When you go out, spend exorbitant fees to pay these people on a constant basis, are we getting value, commensurate value on the pitch?
The one important thing why local coach should be preferred ahead of foreign coaches should be because local coach will be committed to their country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number one, they say, this is my country. But that does not mean you should cheat them.
Well,
that does not mean you should cheat them.
We were discussing before we started the show, and we mentioned the fact that, look, there's not developmental programs or trainings. It's really good to see Daniel Agumodede and Ilechukwu in the colors of the Super Eagles, training with the players and all. But what's the long-term plan? Is there always a concern? I'll still go back to planning, and that's the real concern for me. What is the plan of the NFF?
The NFF constitutes a team of unserious people. So that you cannot. There is no continuity. If the Super Eagles is working hard now, and the Super Eagles players are getting the result, trust me, the NFF team will introduce another thing, and before you know, we come crashing down again. So the long term, even though you ask NFF president or the NFF team, their long term, I don't think they can even articulate their long term. They cannot articulate as we speak now. So we don't really plan it. See, we see the problem everywhere.
Let's quickly move away from that to the main talking point now. The match itself. How do you see it panning out? Because man for man on paper, you'd argue that the Super Eagles are better players, but Benin Republic, they defeated us, and you don't know what to get from from the Super Eagles at times. So now, what are you expecting to see on Saturday?
Football has moved beyond their names, and you see what they're doing to Ronaldo club in
Al Nassr. Yeah.
So we thought he would win the league in the last 2 seasons, which didn't happen. Also, not about the name for Super Eagles. Super Eagles, look at the quality, the quality in quotes of players that will be coming from
Benin Republic.
Yes. So they are sharp, they are fit.
And they defeated us in the last game.
They defeated us.
So why can't they do it?
They can do it again.
They can do it again.
Tonda can really strike twice that on a spot.
But we don't want them to
But we don't want them to win again.
At the Godswill Akpabio Stadium.
Godswill Akpabio, I think our juju will work for us again in Godswill Akpabio, because that place has given us so much victory than other pitch in the country.
So you say hope against hope. The Super Eagles of Nigeria win?
Yes, I still believe. I believe. Giving them maybe 3-1.
3-1, interesting scoreline. Well, as usual, let us know what yours could be in the comment section right down there. The Super Eagles of Nigeria up against Shores Benin Republic side. Thank you very much for watching this episode of the Nutmeg. You can be part of the community by hitting the subscribe button there on YouTube and also tap our notification bells to get all our latest updates. Also, you can follow us across our social media platforms. On all platforms, we are still Guardian Nigeria. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you here, Eniola, Daniels, and of course, Shirley. There'll be other times. My name is Ayomide. Thank you very much for watching again. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.